In today's video, I'm going to bring you guys along for our very first road trip around Scotland, and we have 3 different cities and towns that we are going to be sleeping over in, and the entire road trip is going to be around 4 days, and we are so excited. We are kicking things off from here in Edinburgh, where we currently live, and our final destination is going to be Loch Ness, which is famous for trying to spot the Loch Ness monster, or as it's more affectionately known here in Scotland, Nessie. But I'm getting ahead of myself because our first destination on this road trip is going to be Glasgow. We just checked in at Glasgow. There is my sister that's also joining us on the road trip, and we are going to the Pollock Country Park now to check it out. Looks like it has a really cool maze and some Highland cows. Pollock Country Park is the largest park in the city of Glasgow, and it is free to visit aside from paying for parking. Pollock House is also on the premises, which is a stately home where the Maxwell family lived for 700 years. Just imagine if this is your back garden. As I mentioned, they also have some Highland cows in the park. These were being kept separate as they just had calves, and they were so adorable. We spent quite a bit of time here walking through all the different gardens. So we've switched up the scenery from Pollock Gardens, and currently we are in the city centre of Glasgow. We are actually at George Square. The square is named after King George III and was created in 1781. There are a few different monuments and statues in the square, and it's the headquarters of the city council. This is basically what the city streets look like on a Thursday evening. Quite an energetic atmosphere, and you can find some really beautiful old buildings in some parts. After exploring a bit, we grabbed some dinner and then we just headed back to the hotel. We packed up and left Glasgow quite early this morning. We had a really fun day yesterday. I think our favorite part was probably the Pollock Gardens. It just had so many cool parts to walk through, and the Highland cows were definitely our favorite. They were so adorable. We just passed through Loch Lomond and we are on our way to Fort William today. One of the main reasons why we are going to Fort William is to see the Jacobite steam train, which is the Hogwarts Express that you see in the movies. So we are going to the location where it crosses the Glenfinnan Viaduct, the bridge, and we are all massive Harry Potter fans, so we are very excited for that.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
We are now at the main event. We are at the Glenfinnan Viaduct. So we are doing a little bit of a hike up to the bridge. We are going to try and find the perfect spot and have a little picnic and wait for the train to come. While we wait, did you know that this is actually the most photographed bridge in Scotland? That is why we arrived an hour early, and we decided to pass the time by having a picnic, as I mentioned, and playing some Harry Potter trivia, as one does. I would definitely recommend coming early because we were able to get this perfect spot to view the train, which is coming up in 3, 2, 1. It's the end of our day here in Fort William, but we still have the evening and we are at our Airbnb now. As you can see, we have such a beautiful view. We have a nice outside table, so we are going to play some board games and have some wine and pizza tonight. Can't think of a better way to end today. All in all, we had an amazing experience here in Fort William, and I think we're just gonna have a chilled evening, seeing as we got up so super early, and then the road trip continues again tomorrow.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
Good morning from the shore of Loch Ness. Sorry if it's a bit windy and the sound is a bit distorted, guys, but I just thought this location was too good not to check in with you. We are at Urquhart Castle. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's literally on the banks of Loch Ness, and that is where we are going to be staying tonight. I actually touched the water and it's not as cold as I thought. Oh, you can see the wind is making my eyes tear up. The wind is crazy out here. It's actually a beautiful day apart from the wind. We have a really nice sunshine. We are going to explore the castle and see the rest of Loch Ness today. Parts of the castle were already built in the 13th century, so as you can imagine, it has a lot of history. Evidence of a settlement can actually be traced back to even before the castle stood here, to the year 562, when Saint Columba, an Irish missionary, travelled here to convert the residents. We just had a little pit stop at a local market with some local crafts, and they had some delicious cakes, and we got a freshly baked cookie with some biscoff inside. Our next stop for the day is the Loch Ness Centre, where we are hopefully going to find out more about the loch and also the Loch Ness monster. At the centre you can also book a boat ride out on the loch, and seeing as it was such a beautiful sunny day, we definitely had to do this. The views from the boat were incredible, as you can see, but it also was very interesting because the boat driver also shares a bit of history about the loch and of course its mysterious monster. The boat has a sonar radar, so you get a glimpse of how they have been trying to track down Nessie. It's the last evening of our Scottish road trip, and honestly the time has gone by so fast, I can't believe it. But I feel like I've seen so much more of Scotland now. For our last night, we are here in Inverness. It's about 30 minutes from where we are staying. We are going to try and find a nice restaurant or pub here to have some dinner and enjoy the last night of our Scottish road trip. Good morning. It is the last day of the road trip, and that unfortunately means that we are heading back to Edinburgh. But I mean, Edinburgh isn't a bad place to head back to, so it's still going to be a fun day. And we have just stopped here at a pit stop next to the road, and we have Loch Ness behind us. We are just having some breakfast and enjoying the view for one last time. I think this is the perfect way to have breakfast or lunch on a road trip. You have to do a pit stop next to the road, and then we are going to head back to Edinburgh. And we are back in Edinburgh. We have arrived safely. We had some lunch in town and now we are back at our flat. And that unfortunately means that our Scottish road trip is finished. But we had such an amazing time exploring a bit more of Scotland. I hope you also enjoyed coming along for this road trip with me. Seeing as it is the end of the road trip, I'm going to also end off the vlog here. But another video will be out next week. If you enjoyed this video, please also remember to give it a like down below, and then I will see you guys in a new video next week.